Assalamu alaikum, dear students. Let's continue our topic, keeping quiet. And before we discuss the questions or discuss these poetic devices that has been used in the poem, let me again tell what the poem is all about. The theme, we know that the poet asks us to introspect, do some spare some time and do no such any activity, just be in unanimous and do keep observe silence, do no activity and just introspect and think of what the wrongs we have done, try to correct them, and get at least we get a break from any such activity which brings destruction over the world or the humanity. Every produce mass destruction, these weapons, chemical weapons and firearms, and just to destroy our fellow beings. If we observe silence and if we keep quiet for some time, do such, we get it. And we this will just minimize the gap between the different people with different opinions may come together, and they will be our just our brothers, and we will just have a time of peace and tranquility. This is the main theme of this film. But the poet, uses different and these what we called the techniques, or what we call the poetic devices, in order to heighten the effect of the poem. And just with the help of this device, the poet makes the poetry becomes very appealing, and that is becomes very that just captivates the readers and just attracts or charms them, so that we just enjoy it and we understand the message, that underlying message, whatever is there. So for that purpose, the poet use different things. There are the similes, metaphors, personification, and other things. There is alliteration, there is assonance, there is antithesis, there are many more such devices that poet use. So in this very poem, first of all, let's see if there is any rhyme scheme the poet has employed in this poem. But no, there is nothing like that. That there is a twello, sitel, earth, language, means no rhyme scheme. So we can call it's a blank verse. As far as the other techniques or the devices are concerned, in the very first this verse, now we will count to 12 and we will all keep still. There are two these poetic devices use the assonance as well as the alliteration. Assonance means use of vowel sounds repeatedly. Just in this, there is O and E. Now we will count to 12 and we will all keep still. In this, there is the assonance, and besides that, there is alliteration. Alliteration means a repetition of the consonant sounds, like that. Beginning of the word, there is a vowel consonant sound that repeats. Just we will. In this next, we will. Here again, ww sound is repeated, and so it is a alliteration. And already I told you in the very first, there is an antithesis that shows the contrast. As in the very first line, now we will count 12 means shows the type of a moment. And again, and we will all keep still, we will keep quiet, we will do no such activity. And so it is antithesis, that shows the contrast. And in next stanza, for once on the face of the earth, let's not speak in any language. Let's stop for 1 second. And here, the let's has been having repeated in two consecutive lines. So this is called an anaphora. Again, in one stanza. There is fishermen in the cold sea would not harm whales, and the man gathering salt would look at his hurt hands. Her sound have been repeated. So again, the alliteration used in this poem. Next, there is those who prepare. Those who prepare grain was those who prepare grain was with gas, was with fire, victory, no survivors would put on clean clothes. Okay, there is a alliteration was with, W sound has been repeated, was with. This is repetition or clean clothes. C, sound, clean clothes. K sound has been repeated, or C not C, K sound, clean clothes, alliteration. So again, and in one word, victory with no survivors, victory with no survivors. O sound has been repeated, so this is called the assonance. And the repetition or the use of the words vowel sound like O in this victory with no survivors. These are some poetic devices that the poet has used in this poem. So, although the images he used are very simple to understand, very simple images, he doesn't have the complex. He doesn't use complex images. He wants to understand things very easily, and these have been used in here. Let's now try to answer the question given at the end. What will counting up to 12 and keeping still help us achieve? In earlier lecture, I have told you this 12 has the significance, mythological significance, or it has a religious significance, 12, or it has a magical significance in that case. And besides that, we divided a day into 12 parts, and that's called a 12 hours. 12 hours. That is one more thing. So this is significance. What will counting up to 12 and keeping still help us achieve? But the question says that if we keep quiet, count up to 12. 12 means that much time, a particular time we keep quiet, keeping still help us, but and keep still and keep quiet and do no such activity. How will it help us? What will it help us to achieve? And definitely it will help us to achieve the peace and tranquility. If we for some particular time we keep quiet and we do no such activity which would destroy the humanity, which would destroy the this planet, and do no such activity, this will help us. So this is how the poet wants to tell us that if for some time we keep quiet and do no such activity, and just introspect about the our activities, what good we have done or what bad we have done, and how to correct our whatever wrongs we have done. Okay. Do you think the poet advocates total inactivity and death? The poet himself says, well, life is what I want should not be confused with total inactivity. Life is what it is about. I want no track with death. Actually, he wants no track with death means no association with death. Actually, he wants to be peace should prevail everywhere. There should no such situation which brings destruction. So that is the main aim and purpose of his purpose, and that's the main the theme of the poem, that he doesn't want that there should be the destruction and destructive devices used. So that's why that is actually he doesn't want to be inactive. Doesn't means we should do every day-to-day activities that should continue, but no such activity that brings destruction, that should be stopped for some time, and that will provide us chance to introspect and all that. Question number 3. What is the sadness that the poet refers to in the poem? The sadness it refers to in the poem is destructive techniques or methods that are employed by the people, by some people who use different weapons, chemical weapons, or other destructive weapons, or who wage war against the environment, to who want for help band to destroy this planet. And this brings the sadness, and sadness of the death is always there all the time, that we are under the threat of death. We are always under the threat of death, because any time that war could break out and bring destruction and death. So he refers to that. What symbol from nature does the poet invoke to say that there can be life under apparent stillness? A beautiful symbol from nature he has used here, that earth, in the season of this spring, or rather winter, there is no activity, means all plants, all they shed their leaves and they become inactive. At that time, the everything is in a dormant stage. But next, when the spring sets in, everything becomes alive. Means they flourish, and the leaves sprout, and the activity, everything, the whole planet is abuzz with the activity. So similarly, if we undergo the this advice given by the poet, that we should observe the silence for some time, means keep quiet, keep silent for some time, and after that there will be the activity again. Means we have introspected, and we have thought that no, destruction is, that destructive things are not good for us. We should correct our wrongdoings. We should correct our whatever wrong we have done, and this will make the life full of activity. The whole planet will be abuzz with the activity and all that. And this is all about the poem and the questions that we have discussed. With this, I conclude today's lecture. Khuda Hafiz.